We're going to start a new 4-week session, just kind of like you guys were at the gym with us. So let's get going. I'm going to put down my water. I'm going to grab the timer. And then just double check. I think everybody's on mute. Yeah. So if you did unmute yourself, just make sure that you are remuted. That sounds funny. But there you go. We're going to start. We're doing 3 rounds, 45 seconds on, 8 seconds to switch. And everybody's favorite, maybe it's not your favorite, but we're going to start with downward dog scorpions. I kind of like this setup because I think you guys can see the timer and I can't. So you'll know it's coming. You'll know when you get to stop. So downward dog scorpions, right? Sending those heels down, lifting that foot up and over, and then really thinking about trying to stack those hips, energy all the way through the end of the foot. And rotate so you see different angles. I don't know about you, but I've been at my desk a lot more than I usually would be. So my hips are getting very tight. So I don't know if that applies to you, but man, I've been sitting a lot more than I usually do. Energy through those hands, really loading through both hands. I'm not letting one hand kind of pop off. Sumos. I think everybody knows sumos. So that's where we're going next. So finding that nice hamstring stretch first. Let your head be heavy. Let your torso be heavy. Let those hamstrings open. Dropping your hips down, lifting your chest, really lengthening through your spine. So no collapsing down. Lengthen out, tailbone away from the top of the head. And then flip it over. So again, enjoy that hamstring stretch. I find a lot of times in class people skip over this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make you hold it. Now I have quite a lot of flexibility there. So for a lot of you, you might look like this. You might be a lot higher up. That's fine. Grabbing a hold of wherever you can grab a hold of when you drop those hips down. So it might be toes, it might be arches, it might be shins. Really thinking about pressing out those sides. All right, what's up next? 3 points. Good old plank. So finding right shoulders away from ears, glutes on. You're going to think about lengthening the arm out and bringing it back. And other one. Going around the world, thinking about reaching your leg long to lift it, not lifting it up. And really thinking about that belly lifting so that we're not collapsing down in our lower back. Finding that minimal shift as you remove that 4th point of support. Lengthening that leg. Breathing. Always a good thing. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. And we're just going to stay low to the ground at this next beat. For tabletop, swing through. So just kind of roll yourself on over. Fingertips pointing forward if they can, or out if they can't. Hello, crabs. I know. But you know who was saying that maybe you're sitting at a desk more than you usually would? So this is opening up all those things that would be shortened at a desk. Or running, hello. Or cycling, things that we're starting to move towards in spring. And as you send those hips back, really pushing that floor away, right? Think about lengthening, drawing those shoulder blades in the back of your rib cage so you have clearance for those hips. Breathing, opening up those shoulders. I'm going to stop the timer for the next one because it is something that we don't do that often. It was in my online bodyweight class, so ignore that beat for a second. I have a couple of knee people in this class, so I'm going to give a couple variations. Because the knee people are not going to like this. So you go from low to beast. We were playing with this last month, or last couple weeks. Knees are actually more under belly. Knees are off the ground, and then you're sitting back, right? So my knee people, Cindy, Brendan, just hold on. And I think I have another. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm going to think about replacing my same hand with foot, and I come forward. Now, as I bring this forward, this back leg stays bent, but I'm trying to, let me show on the other side. I'm trying to open up this hip, right? So I'm not extending through this leg, but I'm trying to get this hip to open. So that's the loaded beast, the front step. For my bending knee people, let's just do a half kneeling hip flexor stretch, right? So you're just gonna kind of switch between those two. So Brendan, Cindy, I'm blanking, I have another knee person. So here we go. Last thing in your damp, only one that you probably don't know. So stepping forward, and then you kind of push yourself back, right? There is actually a lot going on with your shoulders with this, where I am actively driving myself back to that position through my arms. And just letting those hips open. This is a pretty big hip opener for those of you who can get into this position. Those of you who can't, goals. Last thing from damp, and then we're just repeating. Breathing. Downward dog scorpion, right? That's where we're going back to. So thinking about energy through those hands, sending those heels down, lengthening through that spine, lifting up and over, stacking those hips, energy all the way through that foot. Really anchoring through both hands, right? So on the same side that I'm lifting that leg, I'm really anchoring through that index finger, that thumb. Open up those hips. It's almost like I'm trying to stomp on something behind me with that foot. After this, we have our sumos. Nice. Coming up to standing, let the blood come out of your head there for a second. I'm just gonna switch over, see if I can switch my view. Sumos, so finding that nice hamstring stretch. And then dropping those hips, lengthening through that spine. And then just repeating. Again, where you hold on to your legs is gonna be dependent on how stretchy, mobile you are posteriorly, right? I have a lot of flexibility there. You may not, so you might not be as low. Really thinking about pressing out on those thighs, upper arms, on the inside of your thighs, not the outside. And then really lengthening through your spine. Nice, we have 3 points. So finding that nice high plank, I'll show my other side. Finding that nice high plank, right? Shoulders away from your ears, butt cheeks squeezing, belly's lifting. Minimal shift as you reach that arm overhead. Right? So I'm really thinking about sending energy through the same side leg, the hand that's lifting. And then I'm thinking about reaching back, not up, when I lift my legs up, so that I don't hyperextend or collapse in my core. And then just continuing going around. Breathing. Let that help. Sound effects. You know I love to teach the sound effects. And then our tabletop swing through. Or just holding a crab, right? If you have a hard time with that, pushing the floor away, let's just open up those hips, those shoulders, right? So as I'm here, I'm thinking about rolling back my shoulders. And my legs are really active in this, right? I'm pushing the floor away so I extend those legs. And then I'm doing almost like a hamstring curl as I bring those hips up. I'm pushing those heels into the ground, extending those legs. And then I'm doing a hamstring curl as I go back up into that crab position. Long neck. After this, we have our animal flow that we just learned. For those of you who don't have knees that love to bend, trust me, I know, I've been there. Then you can just do a half kneeling hip flexor stretch. So rotating back over, you're kind of a shortened monkey. Knees under belly, knees lifted. Sitting back into your heels, walk your hands forward. Replace same side hand with foot, and then drive through those hands to step back. Oh, Nikki's my third one. Like, I have somebody else that has knee issues right now. So Nikki, play it by ear, right? I know sometimes my knee does this. Sometimes it won't. So if you're not doing the animal flow, you're doing a half kneeling. I'll show this way. Half kneeling, hip flexor opener, and then pushing back, switching over to the other side. So picking whatever exercise works best for you today, right? After this, we're back to the beginning, and then we'll get going in the main section of the workout. Downward dog scorpions is where we started. Third and final round. Here we go, here we go. Also, right, listen to what your body needs. Like I said, I've been sitting at a desk a lot longer. I make some pains that I usually don't have. So my calves have been very angry at me. So sitting in this downward dog position, setting those heels down, something that my body's telling me today that I need. So listen to your body. What does it need today? So I'm not going to rush through that transition. I'm going to hold it. Because my calves are saying, please stretch me out. Well, I say, okay. Really anchoring through all 3 points that are down, though. Snowballs! I think third round, I actually kind of remember what comes next. So enjoying that hamstring stretch. Yes, I did say enjoy. You're somebody who's tight there. That's not the easiest thing to do. Lengthening through, that's fine. So no collapsing down, right? Thinking about pressing those thighs out, lengthening those collarbones wide. Dropping those hips. Enjoying that hamstring stretch. Let your head be heavy when you're there. And you're not holding tension in the back of your neck. Most of you hold enough tension in your neck. We don't need to add to it. We want to release it. So let gravity help you with that. Woo. After this, we have our 3 points. 3 points. So finding that nice plank. Setting those wrists underneath shoulders, stepping back, thinking about turning on glutes and hamstrings. If you're feeling ambitious, right, you can always go for that 2 point. Like I said, I'm teaching this as a progression like we usually would if you were here at the gym with us. So as the weeks go on, we'll progress. But you might be feeling, spicy today. You might be like, I want to do 2 points. I've been exercising every single day. I want to go for it. Really thinking about those shoulders down the back of the ribs. I'm lifting my belly. I'm squeezing that glute and hamstring, or almost thinking about the hamstring pulling up into my glute as I lift that leg. Swinging over your tabletop swing through. Right? If you're like, that's funny, Allison, I can't get my hips through. That's fine. You're going to go as far as you can. Right? So maybe you're just here. Okay. That's a start. Really thinking about opening up those shoulders at the top. So I'm almost externally rotating them, right? I'm thinking about them being pulled back. And I'm using my legs. This isn't all just about the arms. I am using my legs quite a bit to transition from one position to the next on this. For those of you who have, I forget, tight shoulders, I think was where I was going to go. I don't remember. Something to that effect. Our animal flow, front step, or hip flexor, half kneeling stretch, depending on what your body's going to give you. Right? We're all individuals. We all have individual needs. So again, as you step forward, I am actually not straightening that back leg, but I am thinking about opening up that back hip. Stepping back. My shoe's coming untied. Good thing this is the last thing in damp. Before we get going in the regular, for the main part of the workout. Woo! I'm not dripping with sweat, but I'm starting to get warm here in this cold gym. No heat, no reason to turn the heat on without you folks here. Nice. That's the end of damp. Grab a quick drink of water. I'm going to switch the timer. and then I'll tell you what's coming next. Well, I hit the timer over here. So quick drink of water. Make sure I'm on the right timer. Woo, baby. All right. Next section, we're gonna do 4 sets of exercises. You're 45 seconds on, you're 12 seconds off. We're gonna do each set 3 times through. So kind of a little bit like what we did with Dan. Just sorry, grabbing my timer. I'll talk you through it. So I'll show the first 2, we'll go through it. I'll show the next 2, we'll go through it, yada, yada, yada. All right, Allison, let's do this. The first one, I think inchworms, I'll talk you through that because I think everybody knows inchworms. And then we have our side, high, side, plank, shuffle with the push-up. So finding that plank, you're gonna shuffle a couple steps to the side. Whatever you have space for, find that nice elongated spine, activate a core, and then go the other side. Now I realize some of you probably don't have a ton of room, so it can be step to the side, step back, step to the side, step back, right? Because I know for some of you at home, that's really all the room you got. So the inchworm and our high plank with a push-up. So here we go, 45 seconds. We're starting with our inchworm. So, and you can play with this. You can actually get into your inchworm by walking backwards. And then challenge yourself, how low can you go? The interesting thing about the inchworm in your home is you might have a really slick surface, right? So, even more reason to squeeze those glutes, lift those abs, and support through those shoulders. If you need to come up, come up. I stayed down, I was enjoying that stretch. I'm walking my toes back. You can certainly walk your hand out. I will take either. 12-second break. And then we got our little side shuffles with the push-up. I don't care. It can be 2 side shuffles. It can be 3 side shuffles. It can be your little tap out and back. So finding that plank, right? Shoulders down, belly lifted, glutes on. Side shuffling. No chicken head, thinking about almost tucking that chin. Push up. Oh yeah, we're loading the core and the shoulders. That wasn't happenstance when I wrote this program. So you should get very rusty and toasty in your core and your shoulders after the 3 rounds. Breathing, use that breath. Nice inhale on the way down. Forceful exhale as you come back up. 12 seconds to shake it out. Like I said, this is all core and shoulders for the first 2. You'll see my evil pattern here coming up. So back to your inchworms. Now I'm gonna walk out with my hands, just switching it up. I did my feet the last time. So again, carpet's a little bit more slick than this black gym floor, or maybe a nice clean wood floor, tile floor, I don't know, whatever you're on. So even more reason to really activate that core. Turning on those glutes, lifting that belly, shoulders away from ears, breathing in, holding your breath. How low can you go? And then your side shuffle. No, I was thinking the one side and back is actually a little bit harder because you're using same side arm and leg. So if you want to go for that, because you don't have much space, that's a little extra challenge. Trying to move the same side, arm and foot, push up. Or stick with your shuffles. You'll know that you naturally kind of shuffle arm, opposite arm and leg. You don't overthink it. Oh, no lifting head. So I'm really thinking about almost lifting like the back of my head up to the ceiling as I go for that push-up. Breathing and lifting that belly. Two down, one more to go. I don't know about you, my shoulders are getting there. They're getting there. And where maybe I'll do a hands out and then feet out. Mix it up again. Whatever you have space for. So really thinking about fingertips reaching in the opposite direction as your heels. So you create a tautness between one end of the body and the other end of the body. Little toe steps back. So I'm thinking about reaching my fingertips, in this case to the horsey door, my heels toward doggy's office. Coming up. Last side plank, side shuffle plank push up, not a side plank. Don't worry, we're gonna get to those later. Nice plank. I'm gonna start with a push up because it has to be somebody's birthday today, right? I have a lot of April birthdays in my family. My niece is April Fool's. My sister-in-law is on the 14th. My husband is the 17th. So I'm sure there's a birthday out there that we have to do birthday push-ups for. If it is you, happy birthday. Never thought you would miss birthday push-ups, did you? Breathing. Nice. We're done with those 3 rounds. We're going to move on to the next 2 exercises. Hello, glutes. So ignore that beat. Okay. So here we go. First exercise. Runner's lunge. I do want you low if your knee will allow it. If your knee will not allow it, you can come up high, but by no means is this just like a step touch, right? I'm going to think about really sinking in the supporting hip. For those of you who are get a little confused in the coordination, think about the opposite hand of the forward foot reaching for the ground. You're going to swing this back leg, and I want you to find, better than I just showed, a single leg balance. Stick it. There we go. I just had to turn that on a little bit. So that's our first exercise. There we go. I'm getting turned on a little bit. I mean, my central nervous system's getting turned on a little bit. Okay. So that's your first. First round, your non-dominant leg or your weaker leg. Second round, your dominant. Third time, we'll switch. Oh, maybe third. Maybe we'll do 4 rounds. Make it even Steven. Whatever leg was front, yeah, that butt cheek's gonna be burning. We're gonna make it continue to burn. That's gonna be the leg that's down. And then you're gonna do single leg bridges. So those are your 2 exercises. I'm gonna start with my right leg forward because it is my weaker leg. That's the one that's had all the injuries. So weaker leg or non-dominant is the one that's forward. Opposite hand is reaching. So here we go. Your runner's lunge. Coming up, I do want you to find that balance, right? For a brief second to take a picture at the top. There we go. I was having a moment. So I don't want just this, right, where you're just kind of slopping through it. And I don't want just like a step back, right? I want you to think about sinking in that front hip. It should start to get nice and roasty toasty. If you're truly dropping down in it, I had a nice recovery, but I didn't turn on my core to begin with. So I'm gonna think about that belly pulling in. I'm gonna think about that supporting butt cheek squeezing. 45 seconds. Same leg that was the front leg is gonna be the supporting leg for your single leg bridge. So burn, baby, burn. So my right leg was the supporting leg. Now my right leg is going to be the one that's down, and my left leg is the one that's reaching. As I come up into this bridge, I'm going to think about that kneecap and femur going forward. I'm going to think about keeping my ribs knitted so I'm not just finding it from hyperextending in my lower back. Hello, butt cheek hamstring. Mine's on fire. How's yours doing? Woo! Come on, 45 seconds. All right, now we're on to the other leg. Other leg. I'm just bringing the mat over for my single leg bridge so I don't blend in the floor. All right, so my left leg is forward, or whatever. You just want to switch your leg. And again, you're trying to find that nice balance at the top. Find these coordination ones or these balance ones. A lot harder to do when I'm talking and doing it at the same time. So another thing I almost think about, right, like I'm trying to lay the front of my pelvis on that thigh. I don't want you to think of it as a collapsing down on that thigh, but I want you to think about getting nice and low. So low, right, that if you put something there, it gets trapped. Woo! And then left or whatever leg you just worked with your front leg is going to be your single leg bridge. And up. Really thinking about lengthening that femur, that kneecap up. Thinking about wide shoulders, right? I'm not pinching my shoulder blades together. Almost thinking about my shoulder blades reaching away from each other. Hello, glute. Mine's on fire. My evil plot's working. Or at least it's working for me. Hopefully it's working for you at home. One more time each side. I know I lied. I said 3 rounds, but I think we should do 1 each. Just so you know we missed you. Let's burn, baby, burn. So back to that front leg. Woo, I have a feeling I'm going to feel these tomorrow. I don't know, you can ask me when you chime into Pilates. Letting your breath help you. That nice exhale at the top helps turn on your transverse abdominis, which is a nice supporting abdominal muscle. It's huge, by the way. It wraps around your whole torso. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. Woo. And then rolling. We're getting down on the ground. Again, so I don't blend into the ground, I'm going to pull out my mat. I didn't want to miss the beat. Here we go. Oops. So also really thinking about the leg that's up, helping you, right? How weightless can that be? For this idea of it lengthening up to the ceiling to help with that supporting leg. That now, round 2, should certainly be talking to you. Okay, you'll thank me when you get on your bicycle. Again, I've kind of flared my ribs there, so I'm going to check in with that. That the range of motion is truly coming from my hips, not from my lower back. Nice. Second side, second time. Last time we're doing that. I promise I'm not going to make you do 3 rounds. Here we go. Woo. So again, the supporting leg, really thinking about pulling up. Energy through that whole leg, squeezing that supporting glute is also going to help. rate's elevated. How's yours doing? See, you don't have to go for a run to get an elevated heart rate. Man, fighting for my balance here at the gym. Hopefully you're doing a little bit better at home. There we go, found a rhythm. Try not to jinx myself. Last one, the leg that was in front is the leg that's down. Woo-wee! Really lengthening that whole front of the body. Let it open up. But again, I don't want to flare my ribs. I want to keep those together and find the lift from my hips, not my lower back. Right? That's a common compensation in bridges. People hear hips higher, and what they end up doing is actually relaxing those abs, flaring their ribs, and hyperextending in their lower back. Not actually lifting their hips higher. Nice, grab a quick drink of water, and then I'll explain the next two exercises. Get rid of my mat because I don't need it for the next two. Stop the timer. So you can see my ankle plot here, right? Using a muscle, using my muscle again, so I'm fatiguing it. You don't need weights. They're nice to have though. All right, so next one, first exercise, squat down thrust. Those of you who don't have enough space for a whole squat down thrust, let me go over squat down thrust quickly, although you guys, most of you know it. Dropping your hips to go down. It's a squat, right? Think about being in a goblet hold or a sit squat. Sending those legs back, making sure that you turn on your glutes and your core. Sending your hips down to come up. This is not hips down. This is not hips down, right? So hips down to go down, hips down to go up. If you're like, that's a no-go, I don't have space, my knee's not gonna do it, you can always just give me squat touch, right? Or we did the stationary version of the squat touch from the ladder. Either of those will work. So that's one option, or those are your two options for that. Then we're gonna do arabesque flip. So that's a single leg balance. I'm gonna kind of show it on a diagonal. Think about your forward kick in kickboxing, right? So I am reaching through that heel. My torso counterbalances. I'm not here though, I haven't let go of my core. Everything pulls in, and then I flip it over. Think of your teeter-totter, or your T-twist, or your airplane, right? So it is a forward kick reach, back reach on that. We'll stay on the same leg to fatigue that leg. We'll go from there. All right, so starting with your squat down thrust, if your heart rate wasn't up before, most certainly should be now. Here we go, I can't, I'm trying to start the timer there, because I'm looking at you guys. Here we go, squat down thrust. Dropping your hips to go down, dropping your hips, come up. Again, you can always just give me squat touches, or your quick 24s. If you're somebody that doesn't have either enough physical space in your room, or there's something physically going wrong, or lack of range of motion in your own personal body. Dropping those hips down, really thinking about turning on those glutes and core as you send those hips back, so we're not collapsing down. If you want to give me extra, you can always give me a push-up. You can always give me a jump at the end. It's a choice this week, might not be next week. Let's start with the right leg down. So that's typically not everybody's favorite balance leg. Right leg down, left leg up. Thinking about reaching through that heel. My torso counterbalances, but I don't collapse on my lower back. And then flipping it over, right? So I just jacked up your heart rate, and now I'm asking you to slow down and find some skill and finesse. So focus actually on slowing that heart rate down, slowing your breath down. You're staying on the same side. Oh, I just jinxed myself. I was gonna say, you're trying not to put that swing leg down. But as I was about to say it, I fell over. Shucky darns, I'm human. All right, 12-second break, and then you have your squat down thrust again. 12-second break, squat down thrust. Here we go, dropping those hips to go down. Dropping those hips come up. Or, right, for my people, if you can actually get down, but it takes a little bit more, maybe give me a V in, V out. So your effort at getting down is a little bit more rewarded. I can do that. Or I already mentioned a push-up. Give me a push-up down there. Maybe you set up a push-up goal for this time that you spend at home. Or I don't know. Maybe you do have a pull-up bar at home and you're working on your pull-ups. 3-minute plank, anybody? Just ideas. Left leg down, right leg's the one that's reaching. So again, I'm gonna actively focus on bringing my breath down, or slowing my breath down is maybe the better way to say that. As I flip this over, I'm thinking about nice level hips, belly pull in. Bring everything in, reach through that heel. Bring everything in, reach through that heel. Fighting for that balance. If you're finding that your supporting thigh, where your knee is collapsing in towards your center line, think about pressing out your thigh. If you find that it's going out away from you, think about anchoring through your big toe. Energy through that leg, regardless of what position it is in. 2 down. Uno más. 3, last one. My heart's up. Woo. Looks like somebody put on the virtual background of the beach. I just looked up. Makes me happy. First I thought somebody's outside. I was like, woo, it's blue skies outside. And I was like, wait, that's palm trees. And beach and sand. I love it. That just made my day. I don't know who that is. Dad, maybe. This all shall pass. We'll have warmer, sunnier days where we can embrace friends and family. Nice. I'm going to step away a little bit so I can see the timer so I can tell you when to switch. I'm still on the screen. I haven't left. Pick a leg, any leg. Since we're doing both. Really thinking about that core still being active, right? Still thinking about this waistline hugging me. Switch legs if you haven't already. So even though we're not doing a core exercise, so to say, we're still thinking about activating our core. It's going to help, especially on all these single leg balances. Nice. All right. Moving right along. Set my timer so I don't have to yell out of it. Oh, let's grab a quick drink of water. My 5 gallons of coffee, I can't drink it on Tuesday mornings. No, I don't really drink 5 gallons of coffee. Maybe 2 cups. Usually about a cup and a half. Okay. If you're not on a squishy surface, have a mat. And I'm gonna give a couple variations of this. So if the first one's like, no way, I'm not doing this, then kind of look for the next couple. We're doing our side legs. This is definitely a Pilates exercise, whether you knew it or not. So option A, tall kneeling, tip over. Extend that leg out, so that's where you definitely want the squishy. This bottom leg, you're gonna think about pressing forward and keeping vertical. So as you go, what's gonna wanna happen is it's either gonna wanna tilt or sit back. So that's option A. If you're like, nope, my knee's not doing it, oh, you are gonna lay at the beach. But it's not this, right? My ribs aren't down with my head supported. I'm actually more up on my elbow and my ribs are lifted, right? My legs are gonna be slightly out in front and you can go for option B. If you're still on a hard surface and that's too much for your elbow, you can take it all the way down. So those are your three options. You can follow along with the leg once I get in there. And then side plank. Everybody knows the beginning of side plank series, number 1, with the up and down hips. If for some reason, again, you're on a hard surface, your elbow's not gonna love it, you can always give me side folds instead. But that's what we're doing. I'll grab the timer. Let's start, I don't know. Let's start with our left knee down or our left side down. You're doing one of the other versions. And our right leg's gonna be the working leg, or the gesture leg. So here we go. We're tilting over. That right leg's going to the side. We're going up and down. Yeah, baby. And I'm, again, trying to keep that hip push forward and vertical. Again, you can always do the beach version or all the way down, up, down. Oh, let's change it. Let's change it to little circles. Circle, circle, circle. And switch directions with the circle. Oh, low obliques. Yes, your glutes should feel this. The outside of your hips should be getting very roasty toasty. Hopefully I started that. I was like, hopefully I started that timer. See, I was starting to worry, guys. Down to your side plank. So left side is still the one that's down. Lifting those hips, really thinking about that bottom glute, squeezing bottom waistline, lifting back in those shoulders. Pulling back your chicken head. Oh, up and down with the hips. I almost forgot. Do, do, do. So we're doing a little hula. A little hula like we were in Hawaii. Brendan, I know you were supposed to be there. I'm sorry, my friend. And for all of you who are going to go somewhere nice and warm and sunny, thank you for keeping the world safe. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Oh, burn, baby, burn! Oh, woo. Saved by the bell, huh? All right, other side. So now we're gonna tilt over to our right side, where your right side body's gonna be down. I can feel those butt cheeks. Okay, this is where the fun begins. Round 2, right? A little bit of an evil exercise, because you kind of think like one leg's doing the work and one isn't. Change it to circles. Oh, but they're both working. Both your butts should be burning, burning, burning. I know mine are. But we can smile through it. We can breathe through it. And circle together. Oh, oh. Got it, got it. Lift that leg, lift that leg. Oh, and down to your side plank. So again, really thinking about setting up elbow underneath shoulder. Second those feet. Energy through those legs, squeezing that butt cheek. Chicken head. I'm famous for my chicken head and my side planks. It's one cue I always have to think about, pulling my head back. I think what it is that people want to look at their hips, lift and lower. And pulls their head forward. Just know that your hips are lift and lowering. have to look it up. Breathing, smiling. Nice. Again, I'm going to back up a little bit so I can see the clock. So I can tell you when to switch your legs. Put this giant TV in the way. Over to your left side. Oh, I still can't see it. You're lifting, lowering that right leg. By the time I get there, I'm totally out of view. You can watch my leg. And then you're gonna think about using your side bodies. Come up and switch over to the other side. Lift and lower. I'm halfway in the screen, I know. But I trust you guys to do it. Oh, keep that femur stacked. I can feel my tilting. We're almost there. We just got our side planks and some stretches. Side planks again. I'm kind of out of the frame. I trust you guys. I'm looking at my timer. All right. Side plank, side plank. Woo. Little up and downs. Think about squeezing that bottom glute, that bottom waistline. And then switch over to the other side. I can come join you again because now the beep will tell me when to stop. Nice. I'm going to turn off the beeper and then we're going to go through some stretches. So yesterday I had the privilege of taking the live class on Instagram from Flow Lab in Portland, the studio that Augie's been collaborating with there. And they did a nice variation on a figure four. So we're going to do that. Cindy, you do whatever your body will do for a figure four. And you too, Brendan, this might be a hard stretch for you as well. So you can always go back to the old standard. You're going to sit back like you are enjoying a nice sunny day at the beach. And then you're going to cross one ankle over the other knee. If you don't feel a stretch there, you're going to sit up a little bit. You're going to draw those shoulders down the back of your rib cage, and you're going to lengthen through your spine. And so it's kind of like a sitting figure four. I hope some of you are taking advantage of those live Instagram classes. It's good to just experience somebody else's teaching style, different exercises, different tempo. So check in with those. You don't need to be part of Instagram. You just have to find them on Instagram. We can give you that tag if you don't have it. And then let's sit up. You're going to tuck in this bottom leg if it will go there, right? We want both sits bones on the ground. If it won't go there, you're going to keep this bottom leg straight. Now, usually, we do a hug in with the opposite elbow, but we're going to work on T-spine mobility instead of stretching this glute. And you're going to think about reaching across, putting your elbow into that, and you're going to rotate. So this should feel more like you're wringing out your rib cage. So it's not the hugging in. You're going to go past your thigh. You're going to put your elbow there, and it could be straight or bent leg. This is not your leg, Allison. Straight or bent arm. Lengthening through that spine, wide collarbones, and then you're going to rotate back. So it should kind of feel like you're wringing out your rib cage. Or, you know, you're looking and checking your blind spot in the car to make sure there isn't a car there. Real life application for this. And then we're going to unpretzel ourselves, and we're just going to do those two stretches to the other side. So, unpretzel. I'm sitting at the beach. I wish I was sitting at the beach, but I'm not. But I can pretend. Lengthen through your spine. So once you're here, right, I am thinking about drawing those shoulders away from each other, lengthening through my spine, and I'm trying to bring my chest close to my shin. Again, right, some of you might be back here. And this is kind of a nice one. You should also kind of get a stretch or opening in your shoulders. Again, going back to sitting at the desk a lot more. All of you who work desk jobs are like, yeah, Allison, I do it all the time. I'm not used to it. Yesterday I got up after sitting at the desk for like 3 hours and I did a dance party. I couldn't take it anymore. And then letting that leg curl under or extend out, sitting up tall. And then reaching across and rotating. So as I rotate, my shoulders drop away from my ears. I'm looking over that shoulder. Breathing. Again, it's like you're in the car and you're looking back to check out your blind spot. And then for our grand finale, let's go back to our downward dog. Sometimes it's nice to do a stretch at the beginning and then repeat it at the end. See how it feels different on your body. So finding that nice downward dog. I'm going to come off the mat so I don't have my shoes on the mat. Sending those heels down. Letting that head be heavy. Energy through those index fingers, those thumbs. Treading through those feet if you need to. Stacking those hips, reaching that heel back. Hopefully you find a little bit more mobility now that, I'm talking through my armpit, now that you're a little bit warmer. And let's go for 2 more on each side. Again, really anchoring through both hands, sending both heels down. Or the heel down. I guess both heels if both feet are down. You know what I mean. All right. Thanks so much for joining me. We added a lot more classes, so check it out. Michelle did one yesterday, it was new. Charlie has another one on. So check out the schedule. Also check out the Portland stuff. I did it yesterday. Again, it's fun to just do something different cueing. So I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.